on any live stream platform. Thank you so much for allowing us this time in your space in order to inspire you to overcome those things that you might be facing today. My name is Desiree Lee. I am a public speaker. I'm also a self publishing consultant where I help individuals publish their books in 24 hours or less. Also, I'm the founder and creator of Authors in Business, which is a membership community of self-published authors where we leave no author is behind. Also, we move as one, and that is really important to me too as well. A little bit about how I got to where I am right now. Did you ever go through something? Somebody would look at me and says, "Oh, no way, you couldn't go through anything. You look as the expert." Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I did face some traumatic experiences. Just a little bit about my story. In high school, I had a 3.8 GPA. I also had two basketball scholarships raised by two awesome parents who made it their point to train up a child the way it should go when they're old. They won't depart from it. And I am a living example of parents who are doing that for their kids. It actually is. I haven't departed from it. However, 2 weeks after graduating from high school, I found myself on the other side of the law, and I was facing 135 years. From that, just being rebellious and wanting to do what I want to do and experience mistakes for myself, I spent 4 years in prison. Following my prison sentence, I thought I can get my life back together. I thought that, I learned my lesson, I can have a second chance, but I quickly found out that wasn't the case for me. I ran into a few brick walls, Sean, and with me running into those walls, I asked that question, where is God? What am I supposed to do? What is my purpose? Because everything that I tried, I had 6 other businesses that I've done, from selling purses to consignment, to all kinds of different things, and nothing was working, but God said, that's not what I asked you to do. That's not what I told you to do. And I didn't realize that until I fell in a dark place and met the woman with the mustard seed. What she has done for me, the stranger that I didn't know and I met at a nail salon, was simply believe in this young woman who was battered and hurt until I can believe in myself. She didn't give me a pity party. She didn't give me the fish. She taught me how to fish, and I was able to go from there. And since then, I published my book, which I sold over 20,000 copies my first year as a self-published author. And from that, now I partner with the federal government, and I speak to kids about prison prevention too as well. And now I help other authors and believe in them the same way she did for me. She said, I don't want any money. She didn't tell me I owe her anything or pay her for a consultation. She said, pour into someone else like I poured into you. What she was saying was not necessarily pour. Love someone else as much as I love you. And I think that's what God does for us too as well. And that's how I ended up here in this spot, Sean, is just continually to love others and pour into others the same way a stranger did for me. And that's how I created Authors in Business. That's how I came about speaking to young people too as well. And we have to keep in mind, there's 3 reasons why we go through things. Either to prevent someone from going in, encourage someone who might be in it, and to show people that nothing is impossible. And to sum up, when you say, tell a little bit about yourself, that's who I am. Those 3 things.
Wow. Well, first of all, Desiree, again, I just want to tell you what an honor. I mean, I've known you, it seems like, we were talking about this today earlier, and it seems like we've known each other forever. I mean, I just have such great connection with you, and, after being able to, to learn from you and grow from you, and now I really consider you like one of my greatest friends, it's just so awesome to be able to hear, there's this moment, right? And you said it. You said that you went through this dark time, but then all of a sudden there was this moment. So let's go. I know I don't want to go into the whole story. That's not what this is about. Our goal tonight is talking about balancing your faith in your life. But in order to understand that balance and where it begins, I think it's important to start where where it started for you. So if you would, just a tiny bit about that dark place.
Well, in the dark place, it's not that I think that people, when they find themselves in a struggling place or a dark place, if we want to call it that, it's more so as I tried all of my options. Nobody wakes up and just says, hey, I want to do something bad, or I want to commit a crime, or I'm a struggle. It's only because they tried different avenues and nothing worked. And so in our minds, we think that because I went this way to the left, I hit a brick wall. I went straight forward at it, and accepted responsibility in our dark place of maybe not paying a bill on time, maybe overspending, maybe overeating, maybe, overinvesting, maybe going a different direction. And I know that wasn't my, my first way I'm supposed to go. However, in this dark place, it's more so that you try so many different options, Sean, and there's no result, and it seems like it's repetitive. And we come to this place where we say, Lord, how much longer do I have to bear this cross? How much longer do I have to bear this pain? I know you told me my assignments for a specific person, a specific genre, a specific avenue, but how long do I have to face this? And then you fall and you say, look, I'm tired. Have you ever been tired of being tired? And I think that's what we can sum up anybody's dark place that's listening right now, is a moment of being tired, like tired of being tired. And that was that moment for me. And sometimes I want to encourage somebody, it takes you to strip your boat down in order to sail. Sometimes it takes you to be all the way down at the bottom in order to rise. And when you're at the bottom, there's no other way but to go up. So if you hit a brick wall, there might be a tree there, and build a ladder. If you can't find a job, create one. If you don't have an audience, create one. If you don't know where to go, ask for help. And it wasn't until I said, God, I'm tired. I'm tired. And that's when the doors open. It says, okay, now you're going to let me do my job. Now you're going to let me move in your life. Now, because it's our choice to allow it to be that willing vessel. And when I say, I'm tired, I'm done. You're going to have to run this will, or I'm done. And that's that dark moment.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that when you're at your weakest is when you truly find your true divine strength?
Yes,
like when
Sean.
You're at your weakest moment. I remember my weakest moment, and I remember that moment like yesterday, and the overwhelming strength that comes in when you are at your weakest. So if you're out there tonight and you're listening to this and you're going, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it tomorrow. I don't know if I can take one more minute of this. I'm tired. Like Desiree said, I'm tired. Then I want you to call in, guys. I want to hear from you tonight. Desiree and I want to talk to you tonight, because that's what we want to help you with, is balancing that. Because, look, we all have been there, and you have to get to your weakest in order to truly find your true divine strength. So, Desiree, let's get into what we really want to talk about tonight, that balance. I mean, you're a mom. You're an entrepreneur. You serve. I mean, what, you published 500 books in 2016, right? And you're looking to double that this year, and you're already on that mission. You're already driving towards that goal. Not to mention speaking engagements, working for the federal government, and still giving God the first privilege in that line, and keeping him in front of everything. So that's what we really want to get to tonight.
Right.
I want you to share some of your best advice with this amazing audience tonight about how we get that balance. How do we start, first of all? We get out of that dark place. We find our divine strength. How do we create that balance, Desiree?
Well, it's three things. And Sean, I just want to revamp real quick. You say, it's at our weakest where we find our strength, but even God says, when you are weak, I am strong. And I think what the balance is getting out of our way, putting aside our ego, and allowing people to help you, allowing God to do his job. And so for me, it was more so you said, how do we start? First of all, it's 3 tiers: imagine, create, become. I had imagined so intensely that my imagination now is becoming my reality. And then I had to realize, what tools do I have in front of me? I always tell people, even on live stream or on Periscope, that I have a PhD from Google University. I have a master's degree from YouTube University, and I'm enrolled in Periscope Community College. So you have to realize is that doing what you can with what you have until you can do better. Eventually, even Muhammad Ali said, I knew I was great before I was. And people always say that you have to believe in yourself before somebody else believes in you. And it was kind of hard because being in a dark place and seeing that I was depressed and all that stuff, to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of that. I believe in that, So I had to imagine what success looked like for me. It's imagine the audience after I finished my speech, they're standing up clapping. Imagine what I was going to wear and all these different things. And then it actually came to fruition. Now, you said, well, how do you balance that? You're a speaker, you're an author, you help publish people and different things like that. Well, let me just give a shout out to Google Calendar. Okay? Google Calendar is the best tool ever. Thank you so much, Google, for creating such an option as that it connects to my phone. But to be really honest with you, it's more so is being okay with allowing people to help me. Coming from prison, I was programmed to, you're an island. Every man for himself. Focus on yourself. You can't save other people. You can't help nobody. If somebody gives you something, you feel obligated. There's something behind that. People don't give you stuff for free. And so I had to really work through that by trusting God. We say, I can't see God. But when I understand that God is in you, is in me, when I see you, I see God. When I see myself, I see God. I see God everywhere and everything. And so from that, it's learning how to really fall back. And I couldn't fall back until I was tired and I had no more options. I couldn't fall back until I stopped trying to make it happen. And when God said, I don't need your help to make it happen. I'm God all by myself. I just need you to do what I told you to do. And that's trust. That's the balance, is allowing other people to come in. Hiring other people, of course, allowing even my clients to help me, to give me insight, to be a better teacher, to be a better steward, be a better listener. And that's where the balance comes in. It's lining everything up, not procrastinating, being consistent. I hope people are writing this down right now if they're watching a live stream. Okay? Being diligent, being consistent. And do not, whatever you do not procrastinate. Do what you say you're going to do and always be on time. So you said, what is that balance for you? How did I start? Imagine, create, and become. Then it's not refusing to procrastinate, being consistent, and do what you say you're going to do. And when you understand that people's lives are depending on you, you said, Sean, you help publish over 500 people. You help with them with their books and so forth. It's not just 500 people, Sean. Each person is assigned to maybe 50,000, 10,000, 100,000. And when you change your perspective of when I help one person, I don't know who they're assigned to, you'll be less likely to procrastinate, to delay or deny, because it may be that Desiree that lost all their options and is ready to kill themselves. Lost all their options, and not only the parent, but the kids are depending on that. So how selfish would you be to procrastinate any longer? And so you might say, oh, it's 500 people. No, Sean. It's really 500,000 people, because they are allowed to complete their assignment in in their lives too as well, Sean. So I say this, when you put somebody, how much do you value your client's life, and how much do you value the people they're assigned to serve? Then that's the balance.
That is why I love you, Desiree, because it's always so much bigger than you.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that you and I talked about earlier today was our checks and balances, right?
Yes.
That it's important that instead of being competitive with you looking, worrying about what your competition's doing and what everything else is going on around you, when you focus on what God wants you to do, right? And you check your ego and you balance your emotions, that is so huge, right? You got to be able to check your ego. You got to be able to balance your emotions, and you got to look at the much bigger picture. It's not just about what's right in front of your face. It's not just about what you see in the room. It's not just about what's on the other side of the door, because God has already created amazing opportunities that are already there, that have already been manifested. And that's one of the things I want to jump back to. You didn't call it manifestation, you called it something else, but it was basically the same thing, where you believe in something so much that it begins to happen. We also call that manifestation. You begin to manifest what it is that you're truly meant to have. When you begin to believe, and then you receive and achieve, right? So it's really important that you understand part of that balancing is being able to balance yourself. Check your ego, balance your emotions. Man, what a great first half hour. I think this is the perfect time to take an intermission. Desiree, thank you so much. We're going to come back in just a minute. Well, hey, if you want to call in, guys, the telephone number again, 770-415-2149, and we want to hear from you. I want to hear, how are you balancing faith in your life? So if you want to call in, again, the number is 770-415-2149. You're listening to 108 Praise Radio. We'll be back with Desiree in just a minute.